Two-vehicle collision early this morning stalled commuter traffic around Great Northern Road and Second Line. A commercial pickup truck and small car collided at the intersection. The truck ended up smashing into a light pole. Both vehicles sustained major damage. No word on any injuries at this point. Sioux Fire Services, EMS, and Sioux Police Services tended to the scene. No other details are available at this time. Victims of a mass shooting in Toronto have filed a class action lawsuit against U.S. gun maker Smith & Wesson, alleging the company was negligent for failing to include smart gun technology in the handgun that was used in the attack. A statement of claim filed in Ontario Superior Court on behalf of several victims of the shooting on Toronto's Danforth Avenue in July of last year alleges Smith & Wesson was aware the semi-automatic pistol, which was previously reported stolen from a Saskatchewan dealer, was ultra-hazardous. It alleges the company was aware guns without systems to prohibit their use by people other than their authorized owners posed a likelihood of harm to the public because it made an agreement with the U.S. government in 2000 to incorporate the technology into new gun designs, but then introduced the type of gun used in the attack in 2005. The statement of claim contains allegations which have not yet been tested in court. Smith & Wesson did not immediately respond when asked for comment by the Canadian press. The country's finance ministers are meeting in Ottawa today with more federal help for resource-dependent provinces such as Alberta on the agenda. All provinces say a federal program that cushions provincial budgets from sudden shocks needs to be more generous. The fiscal stabilization program is easier to change than the more complex equalization program, and amendments could be worth billions to provinces whose finances have been hit by low oil prices. They want the program revised to eliminate a $60 per person cap on payments and to allow retroactive payments that could be worth billions to Alberta in particular. Unlike equalization payments, fiscal stabilization money comes straight from federal revenues, which made it easy for provincial premiers to agree earlier this month that expanding the program is a top priority. Federal Finance Minister Bill Morneau will also face calls for more transfers of federal money for health care. U.S. Democratic presidential candidate Senator Bernie Sanders told a TV station in Palm Springs that nobody wants to be spending an enormous amount of time impeaching a president, but that President Trump's conduct has made impeachment necessary.
I think at the end of the day, nobody wants to be spending an enormous amount of time impeaching a president. But the reality is that is what the House has to do, because you have to have standards for a president of the United States. If a president can obstruct justice, if a president, in my view, can violate the emoluments clause and make himself rich because he's president, add additional revenue for his family, if a president can use military aid to gain dirt on his opponent, if you allow that to go on, then what kind of standard are you setting for future presidents? So I support the impeachment. I hope it is done quickly. There'll be a trial in the Senate, and we'll go from there.
4 BC Indigenous groups began arguments yesterday in the Federal Court of Appeal that the Canadian government failed to consult adequately with them before its latest approval of the Trans Mountain Pipeline expansion. Leaders from the First Nations held a press conference in Vancouver before the court hearings got underway yesterday.
A expanded pipeline export facility within our territory and within this part of the world does not make sense given the risks that are being posed and the lack of meaningful respect by the federal government for the rights of the Squamish people. We will continue to challenge this and continue to challenge the federal government using our rights that are protected under the Canadian Constitution. That is what is asked of us as leaders by our people, and it's asked of us by future generations who are praying that we continue to stand up for the environment that we are going to hand down to them one day.